While the barber can tamper with the hair in the nostrils, he cannot tamper with the hair in the pants. You're welcome to another episode. Good morning, Subahul Khair, bonjour, Kwalafia, Ekaro, Hansuma, Dasba, Bimamachi. We are going to our second story, or we're going to the second story in the mirror of December 30th, 1977. Most of us were not born by then. I'll show you the paper again. I have to warn again that the paper is not nice looking, but we are doing it for the stories. I'm determined to tell people, to let people know what used to happen in those days. We're going to page 3. Want to grow fat? It's a question. Want to grow fat? Then we have tourism. In Ghana, then persons of the year. Okay, let's start with growing fat. Want to grow fat? Problem. Is there any medicine to help me grow fat? That's how it is. In certain parts of the world, people don't like being fat. In other parts, we enjoy it when we are walking and people are looking at us, walking and looking well fed. Okay. Is there any medicine to help me grow fat? I am a boy of 19 and very slim. I am so thin that I am embarrassed when I go out with my friends. Solution. If you have always been slim, then you should stop worrying for that is your nature. But if you have been losing weight, then it may be due to hidden disease. If you are coughing too, then it could be that you are developing tuberculosis. See a doctor for investigation and correct treatment. Meanwhile, it will do you good to eat well and eat regularly. Sleep 1 or 2 hours after lunch and exercise to build your muscles. Go to bed early at night and eat plenty of eggs, meat, fish, milk, butter, and beans. Problem 2. I am a footballer who always trains in the sun. Whenever I'm sick and go to the hospital, the doctor always tells me it is fever. What causes it? And how can I avoid getting fever frequently? And where is the answer? Oh, where can I do this? How can I avoid? Oh, I've seen it. Fever frequently. Solution. Why don't you start training from 4 p.m. when the sun is not so hot? Fever is not a disease. It only means a rise of body temperature, which is a symptom of many diseases. If the doctor diagnoses your case, if the doctor diagnosed your case a fever, I'm sure he advised you. Report any rise of temperature to the doctor because frequent rise of temperature may be caused by a hidden disease which is not responding to outpatient treatment. The doctor may admit you in hospital to enable him to do his investigations and give you correct treatment. That's all for questions on health. Okay, now we go to tourism. And I believe it's tourism regarding Ghana, tourism in Ghana. Well, for the solution, for the questions, the writers' names are not there. It's not like PMP or yeah, not like PMP. Here, the names of the writers writers are not the two writers. Okay, but here we have tourism, and the writer is by Kofi Atabedu. By Kofi Atabedu. That's 1977. Well, I hope he's still alive. Some of us are alive only by the grace of God. We died many times and God saved our lives. Okay, last week, in an article on how the tourist industry can earn more foreign exchange for the country, I suggested a closer cooperation between the tourist board and other agencies in the sector, and I made reference to the Akosombo Hotel as an example of an outfit that could help the tourist board earn more, but which, in practice, has a negating effect. This week, I wish to continue the series, picking on the role that air transport, and for that matter, Ghana Airways can play in this. Ghana Airways, okay. That was the time we had Ghana Airways. Now it's no longer there. And this is being managed by private businessmen. Okay, paragraph. Tourism starts with transportation, and on intercontinental basis with air transportation inter alia. It is therefore imperative that developments in the tourist industry must go side by side with developments in the transport sector. In order that the country could take full advantage of this, our national airline should be very well developed. This, I think, is the objective of our airline. Paragraph. Unfortunately, the present situation at the counter of the Ghana Airways does not encourage uncompelled patronage. Full stop. By the sheer fact nationalistic of a government nationalistic regulation, Ghana Airways appears to have captured a much greater share of the air passage traffic and is therefore practicing the monopolistic take it or take it or leave it attitude. Take it or leave it. These words are hyphenated. Take it or leave it attitude. The thing that worries me about Ghana Airways is that it is regularly overbooked, and confirmation is no guarantee to a seat on the VC10, as many passengers who want to get on a flight are given tickets and reporting time. It is during check-in that a real scramble for seats begins. Incidentally, even when there are no flights, one can easily predict the situation because it's only the Ghana Airways counter which is barricaded. The barricade is justified when check-in begins and okayed passengers begin to find that somehow it is not easy to get their seats and have to wait for hours. The last time I witnessed a scene airport, at the airport here, the counter staff, for one reason or the other, refused to serve at the counter, but sent the manifest into one of the cubicles, and the stronger passengers who could jump the counter and into the cubicle got booked. Whatever went on in there, I could not tell. But at least I realized that the situation had degenerated into what could aptly be described as our survival of the fittest. That could be described as survival of the fittest. At Heathrow, the struggle is more intensive, with Ghanaians having all kinds of luggage struggle for seats, and the security staff look on disinterestedly. Paragraph. Uh, Up to a point, Ghana Airways had not done badly, but I think that at the moment it has reached a stage where it is still surviving because of the government travel regulation for public and civil servants. So, the fact is that right now, Ghana Airways does not have the capacity to cope with the increasing number of air travelers. This is because it is running only one aircraft outside West Africa. Until it is able to increase its fleet of planes, other airlines should be made to help. Despite everything, I think that the regulation about public servants traveling by the national airlines should remain, but Ghana Airways should be able to transfer passengers when it gets to a point where it simply cannot cope or provide adequate service for passenger services for passenger service. I'm sorry. If passengers could be transferred, this case, if If passengers could be transferred, this would ease the great pressure on the staff and the aircraft. Then, at any point in time, when the fleet is increased, these passengers would automatically be returned to Ghana Airways. Paragraph. Frankly, I think that Ghana Airways have have the manpower and ability to give as much comfort to its passengers as the other airlines, if not better. Most people would agree that their intercontinental pilots are of a high caliber. I always recollect the evening when the VC-10 touched down so beautifully that all the passengers aboard gave a spontaneous clap for the captain and his co-pilot. It was the climax of a series of takeover and landing of takeoff. Sorry, it was the climax of a series of takeoff and landing from Heathrow through Rome, and every passenger was impressed. Oh, the other part is torn. The remaining part, let's see. This time you travel by Ghana Airways. So the next time you travel by Ghana Airways, ignore the anger. Ignore the anger you receive at the counter and enjoy the flight and hope that someday somebody comes from Ghana Airways. DC tends to sorry, I can't read the rest of the part. Sorry, I'm sorry. The rest of the story is torn, but I think it's giving us an idea of what used to happen in those days. This was in the 70s, but later in the 80s, Ghana Airways didn't even have passengers. I don't know, I think this was due to the exodus of Ghanaians from Ghana to other countries, including Nigeria and Europe. Anytime I boarded Ghana Airways, you will see the seats empty, and yet they would serve the passengers with meals. Mm. Even from Accra to Tamale, which was about 45 minutes journey, they will serve. Accra to Kumasi, they will serve. And sometimes the passengers were probably less than five or less. Mm. I remember there was a white man who was always on Ghana Airways anytime I entered, but most of the seats were empty. And then they were running at a loss, and I think that's why they closed down. Mm. Uh, The other one, well, next story is University of Ghana Medical School, vacancy for lecturers and whatnot departments. The part that is torn, I will leave out. Applications are invited for the post of lecturer in the Department of Medicine and Therapeutics. Full stop. Applicants must possess a recognized postgraduate diploma in internal medicine, viz. MRCP or equivalent, postgraduate experience in gastroenterology, nuclear medicine, or respiratory diseases would be an asset. Salary scale 6,420 times 240 to 9,780 plus. Professional allowance of 2,500 per annum. Good stop. Application forms may be obtained from the executive secretary, University of Ghana Medical School, PO Box 4236, Accra, for completion and returned to him not later than 15 January 1978. State Hotels Corporation requires 3 or 4 bedroom accommodation for the senior staff anywhere in the blah blah blah, preferably East Cantonment, Zolo, Ablepume, Teshinungwa, and whatnot. Landlord, not agents, to contact immediately. Yes, landlord themselves, not agents, who are often cheats. They find ways of duping people. Duping people. What's the business? Let's see. Okay, that was mirrorness. We've read it already about somebody wanting to grow fat, and then somebody being too slim or so, and somebody wanting to grow fat, and then a footballer and fever. We've done it. That was mirrorness. Mirrorness. Now we go to person of the year, and that will be all for the paper for this page. I think I should show you this picture or these pictures. Bonya Bronyao, Bronyao, we proudly present to you the heaviest group and the most wanted band. These pictures are the great pilsners. See the picture? Yeah, where my finger is. If they are alive, they might be seeing themselves again. And the names are Jimmy Quaps. Jimmy Quaps. The one to the left is Jimmy Quaps here. Then the other one is Ricky Evans, vocal. Ricky Evans, vocal. I love music, so let's go there. Vicky Evans, vocal. Then under Vicky Evans, vocal, under him is Carl Resendorf on keyboard. Carl Resendorf on keyboard. Carl Resendorf on keyboard. Then we have Carl Resendorf. Is it the Resendorf or Resendort? Okay, then we have by Carl Resendorf, Flash Akwe on bass. Flash Akwe on bass. Who knows? Maybe one or two of them could still be alive. Okay. Details. Friday, December 7, 1977. Agona Nsaba. Then Sunday, 1st January 1978. Agona Swedru. Monday, 2nd January 1978. Tema, Community 2. Mangwa Siba. Great Pilsers Dance Band. Mamo nyinaa afihyiampa. Mamo nyinaa afihyiampa wo. Mamo nyinaa afihyiampa wo. You are all welcome to a new year. And Ghanaians, we like woo. When we say something, we say woo. I don't like it to woo. So that's it. Okay, person of the year. When the year started and Xmas was buying Sorry, when the year started and X was buying one plantain for 20 pesos, it seemed the hardest of the luck because for X it was one plantain, 20 pesos times four children. One plantain for four children. It happens and it's still happening. You will believe it. Hmm? Okay. It was one plantain, 20 pesos times four children. Add rent, 10 cities, and daily trotro of 14 pesos into brackets, 7 pesos in, 7 pesos out. Not to mention the others. We were lucky those days. We were very lucky. Now you pay transport 10 cities, 5 cities, 10 cities, in and out 10 cities, in and out 15 cities. Is there. Hmm? Not pesos. No more in pesos. Pesos is lost. Hmm? Okay. Uh, Not to mention the others. Okay. Yes. On December 31st, 1976, X, on hearing the church bells ringing to usher in 1977, had prayed to God for better luck. Mhm. However, as the year progressed, X came to the conclusion that for sure somebody or something was intercepting the prayers of God to God. In other words, the prayers were not reaching God. Oh my God. Somebody was intercepting the prayers to God. Otherwise, why, instead of improving, did things get worse? You pray and pray and pray and pray, instead of improving, things are getting worse. It's still happening. But it's for believers. There are tests. There are tests from the God. There are tests from God. Things are getting worse. Where is it? Yes. The rent jumped to 15 cities and leaped to 20 cities. When available plantain climbed to one for one city, multiplied by four children and two adults. That's six people. Multiplied by four children and two adults. Six people. Uh, and Trotro happened and jumped. And Trotro stepped and jumped to 10 pesos, 15 pesos, and 20 pesos, So, full stop. As for Kenke, it simply drops out of circulation. Now, how much do you buy Kenke? Not pesos. 5 cities. And 5 cities, if you're a good eater, you might combine two or three. That's what the weightlifters I can see, maybe four. Okay, and Trotro hop steps and jumped to 10 pesos, 15 pesos, and 20 pesos. Full stop. As for Kenke, it simply dropped out of circulation. You can't even get it to buy. That's what it means. Okay, that's Thoughts of a Native Doctor. That's the title. Person of the Year. Thoughts of a Native Doctor by Ajua Yebua Afare. Yes, the writer is Ajua Yebua Afare. A very young lady by then. I believe she will still be alive. This is a picture where my finger is. Ajua Yebua Afare. Okay. In spite of X and in spite of X, and despite the fact that X had no training in the art, X turned magician overnight, magicking an instance, spending four times as much as earned. Not a single item of clothing was X able to buy. Full stop. X earns 4 CDs a day. A handkerchief costs 2 CDs. Oh my God. Ajua, you are a very entertaining woman. Say X. She doesn't want to use anybody's name. So it represents the person by X. It could have been her father or my father or anybody's father. Okay. Not a single item of clothing was X able to buy. X earns 4 cedis a day. A handkerchief costs 2 cedis. Okay. Tomorrow night, when the bells peal out to welcome 1978, X will be thinking, no, X will be thanking God for helping X survive the year. And above all, for having helped X resist the temptation to steal or to steal, dash, or worse, to steal or worse. What does this thing? Okay, I don't know. Let me read what I see. To steal, dash, or worse. Okay, that's it. I will end there. To my mind, X deserves an Olympic gold in survival tactics. X deserves an Olympic gold in survival tactics. So if Frankie costs 2 cities and his salary a day is 4 cities, you can imagine. What does he use to buy food or transport? That's why Ghanaians, we call Ghanaians magicians. They are not magicians, they only cheat. Ghanaians, we only cheat. Everybody cheats. Hmm? Okay, Olympic gold in survival tactics. Yes. This deserves, in fact, to be person of the year. I see. That's why we entitled it persons of the year. Deserves, in fact, to be the person of the year. At this time of the year, when thoughts are on awards and honors, I wish to make a nomination. Full stop. No effort need be wasted in finding a man or woman of the year. No need to look further than the nearest streets. Full stop. Paragraph. Or better still, since too many qualify for the honor, why not erect a unisex or sexless statute? A unisex or sexless statute, dash, in the philosophy of the unknown soldier, dash, a person of the year 1977. It's the question, why not do that? In memory of hardships that must never again be associated with Ghana. In memory of hardship that must never again be associated with Ghana. You lie bad, it's happening. It's even worse. It's worse. Otherwise, so you understand why people die on the desert, in the seas. Because, I don't know, Ghana and many West African countries, we've been suffering for ages. Look, this is 1977 paper. Then when is our life going to improve? When is our life going to get better? I think that's all for the page. And that is page 3. In our next story, we will go to page 4. Let me see what is there. Oh, let me hide the paper a bit. Oh, page 4, there's nothing there. There's nothing on page 4 except maybe adverse and what appears to be an atlas. No, a globe rather. Made in India, driven around the world. Mahindra, multi-purpose utility. Don't look at it. So this is page 4, nothing there. They just wasted the page. So instead of page 4, we may go to page 5. Please help me. How do I have a change of name? My girl still serves ex-lover. These problems have been there. They will always be there. Gossip corner. This is not the paper gossip, but we have gossip corner. Happiness. That's what we want. What's way out? Solve your problems. Solve your problems the mirror way. Okay. So when we come back in our next episode, we shall be going to this page, page 5. Thank you very much. Illa liqa'i. Bye bye. May God be with you.